Hello friends, I'm excited again, and today we are going to be looking into ourselves. And the question is, do you know who you are? Do I know who I am? Many of us know our name, we know our jobs, we know our roles, our responsibilities, but beyond that, do we truly know who we are? Do you know who you are? If I ask you that question, can you answer it? Quite often, we are told to know other people. We hear things like, you need to know your wife, you need to know your husband, you need to understand your boss, you need to understand your children, you need to know your co-workers, your neighbors, your community, your leaders. You need to know your church, your pastor. If you're in healthcare, they tell you need to know your patients. And then if you're in business, they tell you need to know your clients, you need to know your customers. And sometimes we take a lot of time researching about our customers or taking time to know these people. But do we take time to know who we are? I think if we know who we are, it will help us going forward. This is the beginning of 2026. This is February, beginning of February. And many of us, like I said before, we have set some goals. But in order to accomplish those things, in order to be successful, we have to do some deep research in ourselves, some deep understanding of who we are. We can't just cruise through life without taking time to know ourselves. It is good to know other people. It is good, and I love it, because then it helps you to know how to deal with them. But beyond that, do we ever take time to know ourselves? And today that is what I want us to talk about, is knowing who we are. Who are you? I would love you to get a piece of paper and a pen and write down what you think you are. Who do you think you are? How much do you invest in yourself? What do you believe about yourself? What do you see about you? You as an individual, not a group, not a community, not your relatives, It's good to know your relatives. It's good to know everyone else, like we say. But we get it wrong sometimes. It's like we start with the other person instead of starting with me. When you're dating, they tell you need to know your boyfriend, you need to know your fiancé. But not many people tell you need to know yourself first. Do you know your weaknesses? Do you know your strengths? Do you know where your superpower is? Have you taken time to dig deep, to know? When people ask us, in most cases, who are you? We start out by explaining what we do. It's like our identities, the roles that we have in this world. You might start out by saying, I'm a mom, I'm a dad. And what I hear a lot, I'm a single mom, I'm a father to 6, I'm a doctor. And then you go on to tell us where you even work. We go on and on with all that. We tell that, because if somebody asks you, that's usually what we say. But today, that is not what we are talking about. I'm not talking about your roles. I'm not talking about your responsibilities. The other day, somebody asked me, and I said, I'm a speaker, I'm an author, I'm a mom, I'm a coach, I'm a life coach. That's how I say, and that is what I think I am. But there is more to it than that. And that is what we want to find out today. You want to take some time to find out who is Betty, who is John, who is Jack, who is James. And you're asking that question yourself. I'm not asking you. And no one is asking me either. I'm doing it myself. Doing some deep understanding of who I am, beyond responsibilities, beyond what I do. Don't go through life without knowing who you are. And what happens if we don't know who we are? Let's take a minute and think about it. If you don't know who you are, if I don't know who I am, I will accept whatever someone else says I am. And I don't think we want that. That's why We go through life with these labels that people put on us. When you're growing up, you're lazy, you're stupid, you'll never amount to anything. And we believe them because we don't know who we are. We believe what people tell us. But what do you tell yourself? And I would love you to tell yourself things that are true about you. And if you have some things that you're not very proud of, because we all do, do not be deceived that there is somebody who is perfect. There is none. So, those things that we are not proud of, we can work on them. But we don't want to be identified by those things. Because if you don't know who you are, that is how you will go through life, identifying yourself by the past, by the mistakes, by what people tell you are. You cannot manage what you don't know. How will you manage yourself if you don't know who you are? The reason they tell us to know our bosses, our clients, so then we can do things that they like, so that we can do things that will please them. So you have to know yourself to manage yourself. Because if you don't know yourself, you're going to go through life just reacting to stuff. Somebody says something, most of us, we are sensitive. So we have to understand fully who we are in order to deal with what comes to us. If you don't know who you are, you will do things which don't fit you. You have to know what you can manage. When you know who you are, you do not repeat unhealthy patterns or behaviors, because that's not who you are. But if you don't know, then you just go through life doing stuff. It's like right now for me to say that I'm gonna smoke. No, that is not who I am. I've never smoked, I've never tested it, and I will not do it, because that is not who I am. It will help you to not do stuff that you shouldn't be doing. You won't feel lost if you know who you are. And also, you will learn to limit yourself. It's like me trying to get something on the ceiling. I cannot do that. So I have to know my limits. My husband got me a little ladder to stand on, and the day he brought it, I was just laughing. I use it here and there. But anyway, if you know who you are, you'll be able to accept what you can do. I used to tell myself that I am not a morning person. Morning was a struggle for me, and I just believed it. When I was writing my book, I've talked about my book, and when I was writing this book, sometimes I had to wake up so early in the morning to do it because I had some deadlines. And also a friend of mine, he told me about a book. I've been reading it. It's really, really a good book. And the title is The 5 a.m. Club. 5 a.m. Guess who has been waking up at 5 a.m.? I've been doing it, and I think I'm enjoying it. But I used to tell myself that story, that I'm not a morning person. My husband, on the other hand, is a morning person, and he'd rather go to work very early than go late. So what kind of stories are you telling yourself? What kind of things are you telling yourself that you are not or you are? We need to read our hearts. We need to read our minds. We need to read our souls. We need to read everything about me to know who is Betty. What makes me, Then I will know what I can do and what I cannot do. I will not try to do something that is not me. When we read in Genesis 26 to 29, it says, "Then God said, let us make man in our own image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created male and female. He created them. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it." So in this just few verses, we learn that we were created in God's image. And If you have been calling yourselves names that are not good, maybe because someone else used to do it and now we think that is who you are, so we are going to call ourselves that. Remember that you're God's child. And if you accepted Jesus to be your personal savior, you're God's child. So don't forget that. I asked you to get a piece of paper and a pen so you can write down who you think you are. One of those should be that I am a child of God. So then that way you will know. Don't put yourself down just because someone else did. Don't call yourselves bad names just because someone else did. Know who you are. And do not let your history define you. Don't let people in your life define who you are. Don't let your community tell you who you are. Don't let your church tell you who you are. If you really know who you are, you will live with confidence. You will make better decisions. You will set boundaries so people cannot walk over you. Because when we don't have boundaries, anything can happen, you know. We will pursue goals that align with the purpose. We will respond well and not just react. We will walk in freedom and not in fear. We will walk in peace. We will deal with people better than we should. Because if you know yourself that you're a good person, there is no way why you should do bad stuff. There is no way why you should react as somebody who is not. Because at the back of your mind, you're like, I'm a good person. I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be cussing somebody out. So my friends, as we conclude this, I want you to know that it is very, very important. And I'm also telling myself, it is very important to know who I am. It is very important to know who you are. When you know who you are, you stop living to prove something and start living to fulfill something. Now you go out there and research who you are. Research who is Robert. Research who is Joy. Who is Shane. Who is Dwayne. Who is Betty. And if you do, remember, you hang on to what you found that is good. And if you find some that is not good, work on it. Because we all have things we can work on. God bless you. Take care of yourselves. And remember to look deep who you are. Who are you?